I have been umming and ahhing over the last few days about whether to make more of a comment on some stuff that's circulating online, but I feel like having the profession that I do within aesthetics and having the platform that I do as well, which I'm very, very grateful for, I think that it would be extremely stupid of me not to say anything. So I kind of wanted to give my account of everything that's gone on and kind of just some facts. Just listen for a minute. So some posts have been circulating of a aesthetics clinic in Milton Keynes, not my own, another practice in Bletchley and Milton Keynes. And this practitioner has put a woman in hospital, seriously injured her by performing kind of backstreet alley liposuction off of a machine which can be found on AliExpress, which can be found on like Temu, like Chinese websites, kind of Asian websites. And this woman has ended up in hospital in a really, really serious condition where necrosis has started to happen. Now, if anyone doesn't know what necrosis is basically where your tissues, your cells, your tissues start the process of dying. And once you reach necrosis, it is extremely hard to kind of regain that connectivity within your tissues, which it's a really, really serious complication. Now, this is where I say that I don't believe that there should be a whole medic, non-medic argument within aesthetics. I really, truly don't. I think it doesn't matter whether you're a medic or a non-medic when you're doing filler and Botox and things like that. Honestly, I don't. I think that yes, it's handy if you are a medic. Yes, it is handy. But if you are a non-medic practitioner and you are working alongside a prescriber, you are working alongside a little village of like medics that are working with you and you're doing everything correctly, then there's no reason for that kind of divide between medic and non-medic. However, that said, the clinic that put this woman in hospital, she was a non-medic, and she was performing liposuction, which should only be done by a surgeon. No one who is not a surgeon should be even picking up a machine, let alone using it. And I feel like this is a massive, massive thing as to where aesthetics should be more regulated. It really should be. And I feel like non-medics that do things botched and they do things like this, it really ruins it for the rest of us that work our tits off, that pay so much money for the correct courses, the correct training. And again, this isn't a non-medic bashing because I'm a non-medic myself. I have had nurses in my clinic who have caused vascular occlusions who didn't know how to dissolve them. On the flip side, I've had non-medics in that same position where I've had to rectify both. Is it because one's a non-medic and one's a medic? No, they both should have done the same aesthetics training. They didn't. But this is a massive, massive wake-up call for individuals that cheaper doesn't mean better. And if you see someone on the high street offering liposuction who is not a surgeon, don't do it. And practitioners, be safe. You're putting people's lives at risk. You really are. And I just think it's so silly. But on the flip side, as clients have a responsibility to be vigilant about what they're doing. Like I said, if you as a client see a lady on the high street who's in a non-sterile environment, who isn't a surgeon, offering liposuction for cheap, logically you're not going to think, oh, that sounds like a fantastic deal. No, you're not. And I understand that people may have insecurities and difficulties, and yes, it may be cheaper than to go to a surgeon, but is it worth putting your life at risk? Is that really worth it? Because no, it's not. Now, this clinic in particular, I won't name names or anything like that, but I have had quite a few clients come from this individual, and one of them had BBL filler, which left her with permanent damage. And I can say, because I have been there, I have done that, BBL filler is not worth a single penny. I went to a different clinic in Milton Keynes, which was actually a very well-known clinic, and had hip dip filler, and I wasn't given a consent form. The lady that done it worked for this big clinic, and she said, oh, come to my house, I'll do it for you for cheaper. And I'm saying it's the client's responsibility because I have been there, I have been that client, and I made a stupid decision, and I went and had the BBL filler done. I was left so poorly. I wasn't given a consent form, which the practitioner just said, well, you do this for a living, like, it's fine, don't worry, you know, kind of the aftercare. No, I didn't. And I was left that night. I was being sick everywhere. I had a temperature. I had pus coming out of my incisions. I was really, really poorly for a while. And I had a client who was in the same position. I've had another client who's come from this clinic, and she had over 2 ml of filler put in her lips, and she was left traumatized. The agony I saw this girl in was absolutely horrific, and she has been left with permanent damage because of this clinic that was rogue. Do I think that there should be a medic, non-medic argument? No, I don't. And I stand by that. I really don't think there should be a medic or a non-medic. I understand that some clients may feel more comfortable going to a medic. completely up to them. But I think that there are some non-medics out there that are doing real damage to those of us that work really hard to kind of create a business, to create a living for ourselves, and we do it correctly. I think that there should be regulations, and I think that this should really be a wake-up call for clients as well, that cheaper doesn't mean better. It really doesn't. Look at the environment you're going to. Is it safe? Is it sterile? Do you know people that have been there? Have they got good reviews? Are they insured? Are they actually qualified? Ask the questions. I will never ever get mad at a client asking me those questions, because they are doing their due diligence. They're asking the right questions. And if you have to pay a bit more, then yeah, pay more. I truly believe, yeah, some people can charge through the roof for fillers, and it is a bit extortionate. But if you've got someone saying to you, I can do you 3 areas of Botox for 50 quid. No, think logically. Think that a box of Botox, you can get 50 IU of Botox for £68, around £68. You then got to pay a £30 prescription fee. You've then got to pay around £10 delivery. On top of that, you've got your consumables, you've got your needles, syringes, you've got everything on top, your tax, your national insurance, pay yourself a wage. So if you've got someone offering you 3 areas of Botox for 50 quid, where is that coming from? Just be safe. This isn't a bashing kind of video. It's just that I feel like I should be using my platform to tell people to be safe. Like, when you're having procedures done, you could end up in a serious condition, if not dead. So just be careful, and practitioners, do not put people's lives at risk just because you want a bit of quick money. You would rather turn patients away. You'd rather turn clients away than earn that money if it means that they are being safe. It's simple.